Hello lovely people, what is up? And today we are solving Leetcode problem number 696, count binary substrings. So we are given a binary substring S and we have to return the number of non-empty substrings that have the same amount of zeros and ones. And all the zeros and all the ones in these substrings are grouped consecutively. So the substrings that occur multiple times are counted in the number of times they occur. So basically what we have to do is we must count how many substrings have equal number of zeros and ones, and also on top of that all the zeros and all the ones are grouped together. So for example, a valid substring would look like 0 1 or 1 0, 0 0 1 1 and 0 0 0 1 1 1. An invalid substring with equal number of zeros and ones would look something like 0 1 0 1 because the groups are broken. They are not grouped together. So instead of looking at every possible substring, we can take the easy approach. So what we do is we group the same characters together. We walk through the string and count the consecutive characters. Like for example, the string is 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1. So we can separate it like 0 0 1 1 0 0 and 1 1. Now and then we convert the separated bits into count. So it will be 2 comma 2 comma 2 comma 2. So first group has 2 zeros, second group has 2 ones, third group has 2 zeros, and fourth group has 2 ones. And then we never ever compare far groups because we need substrings, and substring is like consecutive numbers or consecutive groups. So we only compare 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2 because a valid substring always crosses one boundary. So here boundary is like the partition that we made 0 0 and 0 1 1, and then we take the minimum. Why do we take the minimum? Because at the boundary we can form 0 1 and 0 0 1 1. That is 2 substrings. So for example, let us take there is some different example like 0 0 0 and 1 1. We separate it like 3 and 2. The possible substrings will be 0 1 and 0 0 1 1. So only 2 and not 3. That is why we take the minimum. So in this question, in this example that we took with 3 zeros and 2 ones, we will take the minimum of 3 and 2, which is 2. And then we repeat it for all the boundaries, and then we add all the minimum values. In the given example, it will be 2, 2, 2, which when we add up becomes 6. So basically to solve this question, what we are doing is count group sizes, compare the neighbors, and add all the minimum values. So now that we have understood the intuition behind it, let us take a look at the code. So first we are initializing a variable, not a variable, a list to store the sizes. Like for example, in the example we took 2 comma 2 comma 2. So that is what this groups store. And then we initialize another variable to store the previous character, which will be last, and we initialize it to none. And then to finally have the count, we initialize a variable count, which will be 0. This counts the size of the current group, and then we start to build groups. So we initialize a for loop that traverses through every single character in the string S. And if the current character is equal to last, so if ch is equal to last, we increment the count by 1. So plus equal to 1. If not, that is else, if count is greater than 0, we add the current count to groups. Okay, groups is the list that we initialized earlier. So we do this. So basically what it means is if the next character is same as the current character, we increment count. So basically if it is 0 and the previous character is also 0, we increase the count, and that will store the number of zeros we have taken in this example. If it is 1, it is 1. Number of 0 consecutive zeros. Then if it is not same as the previous character, we move to the next character. That is why we are adding the count to the group list. And then we update the last value to the current character, that is last is equal to current, and then we increment count, which will be count is equal to 1. And then finally we again add the count to groups list, and then we initialize result to 0. And then to compare neighbors, we initialize another for loop in the range of 1 to the length of groups. We are starting from 1 because the 0 index thing. So it will be for I in range of 1 comma length of groups, the result will be result plus minimum of group 1, the present group value and the previous value of the groups. So it will be groups of the current index, that will be the value which we are in, and then previous index value, which will be I minus 1. Then finally we return the result. So if we try running this problem, you can see it runs in the most optimal time. So the time complexity will be O of n, because we are iterating through the string only once. And space complexity will also be O of n, because we are making a list to store all the count values. So that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.